You ever received one of those emails that when it comes in, just the subject line makes you a little bit nervous and you think, oh boy, what did I do now? I got one of those emails this week from an area that could very potentially be a pretty serious issue based on where the email came from and the title of the email that just said blank blank incident. And I'm thinking, oh my gosh, what incident have it didn't even register in my mind that there was an incident. How could I have been so careless? I'm J Loren Norris with Leading Leaders Podcast. Maybe you've said or done something that honestly it just went right through your mind. It was so natural, it just came out of you. You didn't even think about it. It was just a response. Not really well thought out, not written and planned and scripted, just there it was. Have you done that? I know you have, because you're human, and we all do it. It's exactly what I mean when I say that you'll never squeeze a pineapple hard enough to get ketchup out of it because it's not in there. But when you put a pineapple under pressure, pineapple juice comes out because that's what's in there. In your life, there are things that are deep down inside you, strongly held beliefs, metaphors that you've always used to define and describe your life, stories that you've been telling since you were a kid, some of them true and some of them not, worldviews and ideologies, prejudices that are way down deep inside you. But then there are also those things that are just right on the top of your mind. Maybe something you were thinking, and when the words came out of your mouth, you were like, did I just say that out loud? You didn't realize that you said that out loud. Well, see, none of that happened to me, meaning I wasn't the one who said something like that. But here's what was so mind-boggling about the email. Knowing the environment that the email came from, knowing who was on the sending side of that email, I had to sit back and take a moment and say, first off, that email, just the fact that the email arrived means that the person sending it spent a lot of time doing research because I have never given them an email. In order for them to reach me specifically at that email address, they had to do a lot of work online on Google, finding the website that I only use for speaker bureaus, and then finding the email within that website in order to send me a message, because it's all form-based, not email-based. So somebody went to a great deal of trouble to find that email. The more impressive thing was that this person found that email address and sent an apology. I was racking my brain thinking, why in the world would this person need to apologize? And then after the description in the email about the words that just flew out of their mouth and the thing that they said, I kind of giggled a little bit and I thought, I kind of expected an answer like that. Meaning, in the moment when I asked the question that I asked that provoked the answer that I got, I kind of expected to get an answer like that. I wasn't offended by it. I wasn't hurt by it. I wasn't surprised by it. It really just kind of fit right into the tenor of everything else that was going on that day. But how many times have you personally, how many times have I personally thought back through that conversation and thought, you know, my answer was kind of flippant. My answer was a little off the cuff, a little unprepared, a little uncouth, maybe disrespectful. And I know what I'll do. I will go find the person who I may have potentially offended, whether I did or not, and I will find their email address and I will send them an apology and say, just in case, even though you didn't tell me I said anything wrong, even though you didn't react as though I said anything wrong, even though you haven't told me to and nobody else has told me to apologize for having said something wrong, I feel like perhaps I said something wrong and I'm going to be proactive, not preactive. I'm going to be proactive in sending an apology to say, I'm sorry if I was out of line. Yeah, I got that from a high school student. A high school student. I want you to think to yourself, when was the last time you as an adult, as a professional, took the time to send an apology that wasn't requested? A, to clear your own name, and B, to be a reconciler, to be a peacemaker, to be the kind of person who says, I want to be the first one to say, hang on, I was wrong, and I'm sorry. I want you to take the time today to think through some of those things. Lead with thoughtfulness. What could I have said or done differently is a really powerful question to be asking yourself if you're in any level of leadership. Will you take time to do that today? When you finish any conversation, anywhere, what could I have said or done differently? I'm J Loren Norris with Leading Leaders Podcast for Tell It Like It Is TV. Have a blessed day.